Hello, my gamer family, and welcome back to the Studio Backlot Podcast. This is where I can't open up the soundboard because I'm recording Discord and I'll mess that up, but woo! Anyways, as you can see, we're down Brandon. He couldn't do it today, but that's alright because we have a special guest star who we have a lot to talk about with. So, Cole!
Whoa. It's been a while.
Anyways, Cole, right off the bat, I have a really important question for you. Are there more eyes or legs in the world?
Wait a minute. We're talking about
that's a good
specifically
question.
humans?
No.
Eyes.
See, I don't think I agree. I'm gonna break it down by group. So I'm gonna start by just mammals on top of it. I can only think of two mammals that have two sets of legs, two sets of eyes. Monkeys, humans. So technically the same
Fish?
thing.
What about all fish?
Fish aren't a mammal. They're
you
their
said
own
mammal?
they're their
I didn't
own
hear that.
category. They're their own category.
My bad.
But most mammals that you think of, they have 4 legs, 2 eyes. So it's just mammals, and then there's obviously dolphins that only have eyes, but there's a lot more dogs, cats, and horses in the world than there are dolphins. So dolphins are irrelevant to this. So with at least humans, there's more. With mammals, there's more legs. Once you add birds, most birds are 2 legs, 2 eyes. They don't change anything. Fish are an interesting one. Josh is right. Oh, crabs. I guess crabs are a mammal, aren't they? What are the crabs?
Crabs are arthropods, right?
Okay, they're actually later then. Fish are an interesting one. Is they switch the equation up to eyes, but not for long. Insects, and arachnids, and other creepy crawly thingies. There are countless flies in this world. There are more flies than there are fish, and flies have like 4 legs, 6 legs.
How many eyes do flies have? This is where I think you're wrong.
That's the problem.
Flies have 2 compound eyes made of 2,000 simple eyes each. That's where I think
Maybe there are more eyes because you have fish and flies.
Yeah.
So the question is, do you count the compound eye? A compound eye is 1 eye, or as many eyes make up the compound eye? I think the answer depends on that. If you count the compound eyes as 1 eye, there are more legs. If you don't, there are more eyes.
I looked it up, and it looks like there are 5 eyes per fly, and the compound eyes, you just group them. Because the compound eyes are just buckets that get light. I don't think they're individual stuff.
Oh, so are we gonna count flies as just 5 eyes per? How many legs do they have? They have 6, right?
6. Wait, where are you looking? Because I definitively have 2 prominent compound eyes composed of 3,000 to 6,000 simple eyes.
I just googled how many eyes do flies have as the first result. I guess I could go deeper.
2 compound eyes and then 3
specific.
other eyes.
Result I got.
2 compound
first
eyes
result, I
and
don't
3
know.
other eyes is what I'm seeing.
We'll stick it with 5 eyes then.
Okay.
5 eyes
know
seems fair.
Where
If we keep it at just 5 eyes, I think legs wins easily.
Legs wins.
There we are. And we didn't even have to talk about amphibians or reptiles. Oh! Are snakes the only reptile without legs?
Legless lizards also don't have legs.
There can't be enough snakes and legless lizards though to really change the balance because there's just so many flies.
There are quintillions of insects. So I think,
Yeah.
Yeah, I think think of mosquitoes.
Yeah, there's just so many insects that they essentially insects are the only ones that matter with this question. Nothing else matters.
Gnats have legs. I've never seen a gnat still. Doesn't gnat even look... Oh yeah, 6 legs. Yeah. Yeah, I'm saying legs.
Over 10 quintillions of insects.
What? No bugs.
Wow. There are approximately 1.4 billion insects per person. That's a lot of insects. Well, anyways, that was a quick little question I read today. So I wanted to ask it on the podcast because I thought it would be fun. So Cole,
Yeah.
you're a quirky person, elephant in the room. You live abroad for a lot of the year. So obviously, as someone who doesn't live abroad, that makes me curious. So I gotta ask just, what are like the very, very basic differences? What are things that you like wake up and think, oh, I can do blank, 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 and you're like, oh wait, I'm not in America, I actually can't. Or, oh, I don't live in America, it's not that simple, or something like that. Just something that's just slightly different.
Main thing is more just me specific. I can't drive in England, which is really annoying.
Is it because just the different side of the roads, or like do you like need a specific
I just don't have
driver's
a car.
license?
I could drive, I just don't have.
Ah.
So,
Or that you just go to the wrong side.
Personal life choices. I wake up and instead of going, oh, I can drive, next town over, I have to take a bus or a train.
At least
That's another fun thing, though. Buses in the UK are really nice as compared to stereotype buses here. When's the last time you took a public bus?
Actually, I do know. Public, so not for like a function.
Not per function and not a school bus, not...
Yeah.
Are we counting the buses at Disney World?
Those aren't public, are they?
No, those are private.
Never have
Totally
then. I never have.
Yeah, exactly. I never had before I moved to the UK either, and now I take them about 4 days a week, so...
Yeah, that definitely is one of the things that seems like one of the big things about Europe for me at least is it feels like, wow, you could like just public transportation everywhere. Like,
yeah,
I don't like living in huge cities and all, but at least like New York, one thing that is nice about New York is it's very walkable. You can walk everywhere. You don't ever really have to drive, which I think is a really nice thing.
Yeah, and at least in New York, you also have the subway as well.
Yeah.
So if you really do it, I was on the tube in London last week. That was an experience. Didn't enjoy that.
Because like that's like the subway system in London, right?
Yeah.
Just out of curiosity, have you taken like the train that goes under the channel?
No, not yet. I'm hopefully taking that over the summer though.
Yeah, no. Like as my family is planning our Europe trip, we're planning it in a specific way just so that we can take that.
Yeah, the Eurotunnel's cool. Go when it's not on strike. It's on strike at the moment.
Ah, it'll be a couple of
They're
years.
striking over Christmas, which is like the most evil thing you can do for people who've gone on their holidays and now they have to get a flight back from France instead of a 12-pound train.
Why would they go to France to begin with? Anyways, I'm kidding, YouTube. I don't actually hate France most of the
Paris.
time.
That's
In
Paris
Paris,
fun.
I actually do
don't want to go to
dislike.
Paris. It just smells bad.
Yeah, I actually do dislike Paris, though. I've heard too many awful things.
Yeah.
And it's funny. My dad, like me and my dad, the only painter we like is I can't remember his name. The guy that was in that Doctor Who episode, Vincent Van Gogh. He's really the only painter we like. And my dad thought all of his stuff was in the Louvre, but it's not.
Yeah.
Why is my video
Where is it?
lagging? This is a travesty. Oh my goodness. I'm just laggy McLagface, so it's not lagging right now. Oh!
Yeah.
Ha! But yeah, just in general, like, how much, like, what's the wage question? Like, do you make more money there or more here? And which lasts longer? Does it last longer there or here? And like,
So I definitely make more in the UK, but I think that's just because of my job. Yeah, I think that's just because of my job. But oh no, taxes are higher in England, so
fair.
those go
But
away.
you don't have to pay for car gas.
No, I don't have to pay for healthcare either.
Yeah. So you don't have like any like
Yeah.
health insurance stuff.
Yeah, exactly. Also on the side of taxes, I also don't have to do tax forms because the government just does it for me, which is nice. So none of this stupid guess how much taxes you owe.
Huh. I
but
didn't
yeah,
know
what
about
else?
that part. That's interesting. That seems really handy.
They tried to instill a law where you had to do your own taxes, and then they realized that just made things more complicated, so they undid it. It had like a 3-month trial run in 2015 or something, and they didn't like it.
Huh.
Yeah. What else? Wages. Food is generally cheaper in stores. So like, buying a steak in England is a lot cheaper than buying a steak here, but it's more expensive in restaurants. So it kind of depends on what way you're eating.
So
fish and chips is ungodly expensive. So
interesting. So obviously there's a stereotype that British food isn't very good. Now you've lived in America and England. So does England have good food?
It does. Most of it isn't English, but
so kind of like
England,
America as well, because boiling pot foods are one of the reasons why America has such great cuisine, because we have cuisine from everywhere.
Yeah, same. I mean, the best food in England is typically Indian food, which don't need to get into why there's Indian food in England. That's a whole long historical rant. But we I don't know. There is good like British food. I mean, Sunday roasts are really nice. I'm a haggis fan. I'm a black pudding fan. Not roast breakfast. English breakfasts are nice. I don't know. I like a lot of English food.
Yeah. Obviously, stereotypes are stereotypes. I figured there was no basis to it. So, another stereotype. How are all the teeth of the people that you work with and go to school with? How are their teeth?
There's actually a funny one. There's a guy I lived with last year who's 21 or 22 this year, and he's never been to a dentist before, and that terrifies me. That absolutely terrifies me.
Now, I didn't go to a dentist till I was almost a teenager, but still. That's because I brush my teeth twice a day. I never had teeth pains. I didn't need to.
Yeah, you just never been to a dentist, never really considered it, and I don't get it. I mean, teeth aren't as bad as people think. I mean, my professor says like no teeth, and he's only like 50. But I think that's a different story. But it's mainly okay. But getting a dentist is really difficult because there are no good dentists in my city. So I would have to go to the nearest city, Manchester, find a reputable dentist. And then that is also not covered by the NHS, so that's also just exploitatively expensive.
Interesting. So, I know one similarity between the US and England is that they love football. Now, football itself is different, but they all love a sport named football. So what's that like? So I imagine the soccer love in England, from what I can gather from media, is bigger than the American love for football.
I think so. I mean, I know many more people in the UK who watch football than people I know here who watch American football. So I think, it's a much bigger cultural thing, I think, in the
Liverpool
UK.
or Manchester? I know they have a huge feud, so I'm going to have you weigh in.
I don't like either of them. I'm an Arsenal fan. Nobody likes that. I don't live in the right part of the country to like Arsenal.
Interesting.
They're my mom's team, so I like them too.
Interesting. Imagine not picking Liverpool over Manchester.
Well, Man City or Man United? That's the question. I'm a Man United fan. That's just because everyone is. It's just a bandwagon. They're just a good team.
Huh. Yeah, I know almost little about soccer. I really only know Manchester and Liverpool. Yeah. So you live. I know you live pretty close to Scotland, don't you? So do you just go up to Scotland for fun sometimes?
I really could. I never do. I really could, and it's so annoying because I keep talking about it with my friends. I'm going, we should just go up to Edinburgh, or it's like a 2-hour train. I'm going, okay, well, back home, I could drive for 3 hours, and I'd be like 2 cities away. So how about we take a train?
Yeah, no, that is kind of how it works. Europe just seems a lot more condensed.
It really is, which is nice.
That's also because Western civilization has been in Europe for thousands upon thousands upon thousands of years. the European colonists have only got to Europe. Only got to America 500 years ago, give or take.
Yeah.
So, like, I imagine in like a couple thousand years, the U.S. will be a lot more condensed too. Because if you just look at the U.S., we're getting rid of farmland, putting suburbs there. So, but that's the thing, we're putting suburbs, not cities. So, they're still not going to be walkable.
Yeah, no. I mean, I do go to other cities pretty frequently, though. Trains are cheap, so it's like £6 to hop across to another city. But yeah, I haven't got up to Scotland as much as I would like.
How hard is it to get to Ireland? I know, obviously, Ireland's in the EU.
Well, it depends. To go to the Republic of Ireland, I mean, it's plane to either of them. I mean, Northern Ireland or Southern Ireland, you'd have to get a plane, but I live quite close to an airport, and it's rather cheap.
And I know, like, Northern Ireland's obviously a lot easier to get to because it's part of the UK. So, like, you don't need a passport or anything. I imagine most of the time it would just be easier to fly to North Ireland because you don't have to worry about passport there to, like, take transportation into Ireland. I imagine something like that's probably... I figured. I don't know. England seems like a cool place to at least visit. It seems like the live in, it's in a lot of ways just really similar. I think of all foreign countries, Canada and England and Australia and New Zealand, those four are kind of just slightly different variations of America, where all 5 countries have pros and cons to why you'd want to live there. Which is why I'm going to pose this question. If you had to choose another country to live in that can't be from that list that I just said, of the dominant English-speaking countries, language isn't... For this question, language doesn't matter. And Josh, I'm going to ask you this question too. Language doesn't matter. I figure that you speak the language, but what country that doesn't already speak English would you like to live in?
For me at least, I'm planning on moving to the Czech Republic in a few years.
Interesting. Yeah, they're trying to get a booming film industry, right?
Yeah, and they have one of the best film schools in the world, so yeah, that's why I want to go there.
What about you, Josh?
What's that? I think I'm mixing my stuff up. I think it's Netherlands, but or the one that's really bike heavy, like super walkable, bike heavy, really happy country. I think it's Netherlands.
I know super happy technically is Scandinavia. Finland is supposedly the happiest country in the world. So I feel like but that applies to like all the Nordic and Scandinavian countries. So I imagine you're probably talking about the Netherlands. Obviously, it's not Nordic Scandinavian, but to what I understand, it's a very bike heavy, and it's also a relatively happy country, mostly because they do a lot of fun stuff there, like weed.
I mean, that's also Colorado, so I wouldn't call it the happiest place in the country.
But yeah, Netherlands seems like a decent place to live. I'm just trying to think for me. Germany just seems like a pretty solid place to live. But I'm also not in the tech industry, so I have really no reason to actually live there. Because I know that's a great place for tech. If we think film-wise, probably Czech would probably be a good one too. Or I'm trying to think.
Film-wise, also Romania is really good.
Really?
Yeah.
Did not know that. I can't believe I'm saying this, but maybe even France, because I know, like, unless things have changed over the past 50 years, they used to, like, give a lot of government aid to film, so... Unless that changed...
they do.
So, unless that, like, heavily changed, it would also be a good place. Well, remember, for this question, you speak the language. It doesn't matter.
Yeah. You'd be French.
French?
I think...
France, I don't think would be terrible. Either, although France always has issues going on. So I guess I'm going to go with the filmmaker's answer. Cole knows what he's talking about. I'm going to say Shaq.
Yeah.
I think that's the best one for filmmaking, probably.
That is not keeping in mind recent events in Prague.
I don't know any of those. By the time this goes up, they're not recent, probably.
Yeah, probably.
This was the shooting?
It was a shooting, yeah.
Oh, dang.
At the university as well.
That's so American. I mean, what?
It is. It was a copycat shooting.
Oh,
That's
crap.
what it's saying in the moment.
That's
great.
I was talking with my mom about it yesterday, and I was kind of like, it's kind of put a damper on going to university in Prague. You know, it's I mean, FAMU is like a dream school for me, so I'd still probably want to. But like, and at least you can expect the Czech Republic to have gun reform after a major shooting, unlike a certain country we all live in.
And like, I thought you were also planning on like doing a study abroad there as well, not just going there.
Probably going there to study. Yeah, but that'll be my master's.
I wish I had time in my degree plans to study abroad, but I don't. Because like I know like the film department at the school that me and Josh go to, they have so many film study abroads. And I'd love to do like one of them, but they just don't fit in what I want to.
We had the option to study abroad, but I just chose not to because it would have made my degree a 4-year degree instead of a 3-year degree.
Would have made my degrees 6 years instead of 5 years.
Yeah.
I don't need 2 extra years. I already have an extra.
Exactly.
Anyways, yeah, Europe's cool. Anyways, so technically, as of the recording of this YouTube, Alex Point is not out, but Cole, you composed Alex Point. So
yeah.
I love the. Actually, no. Let's let Josh ask you a question first, so that he can have more to do. I feel bad just having him sit there the whole time reacting.
About Alex Point?
No, just in general. You can just ask Cole.
Oh.
I just feel bad about having you sit there, like, just watching as me and Cole talk.
I mean, you had questions set up, but one of my big questions is, you mentioned your job a while ago?
Yeah.
That you were doing, was it in the UK?
Yeah.
What was that job?
I do international relations and acquisitions for the university. Which, by the way, I'm not qualified to do.
He's the one that sends your rejection letter, YouTube.
Oh, right.
I am qualified to do it in the way of I do the job, and I do it well, but I don't have a degree. It's not my area of study at all. But it's good. I like it. I just kind of help students who are looking at coming to the university from abroad, point them in the right direction, help them with their applications. Yeah, it's good. It's enjoyable. Unfortunately, my department is getting closed in February, so I will have to find a new job.
That's unfortunate, especially since you said it pays well.
It does pay well, but also all of my filming for my course starts like last week of January and goes on until March, so it's actually a really good time for me not to have a job.
Yeah, no, makes sense.
Yeah, I do freelance like sound design as well at the moment, which pays well when I get a job. But I've only done one so far.
I'll keep that in mind.
Yeah.
So speaking of which, speaking of sound and you doing your freelance, it's technically not sound design, but you have composed the Alex Point score.
Yes. Yeah.
Obviously, right now, it's kind of in the phase where it's done, but it's not done yet. As there's some minor changes. Obviously, Josh hasn't heard it all yet. If he checks the Discord, he'll be able to listen to like 7 tracks I've put up because I like them and I want to share with friends your good work. But yeah, so what was that like? So what was all that like? So obviously, like, I gave you a early export of the film that just in the Minecraft font had the scene numbers on it. I hope you found that funny.
No, I have a funny story about that. Do continue.
Oh, you probably don't have the font installed. Wait, no, I didn't give you the Premiere file, so it didn't matter. That's James that didn't have it because he didn't have the Premiere. Because he used the Premiere file.
No, I was sat in an editing suite at my university doing the score, and someone walked by. He just popped his head in and goes, "Is that the Minecraft font?" I just said, "Yeah." And he just goes, "Interesting," and just walks off. That was the entire interaction.
And then obviously, like, beyond just that, I also gave you this giant list of, like, here's all the scenes and here's some ideas and inspirations that you can look at. The funny thing about the inspirations, YouTube, is I probably could have just said, just listen to the Tron Legacy soundtrack and called it a day, because 99% of the stuff I gave him was from the Tron Legacy soundtrack. Like, the only ones that didn't were, I gave you Duel of Fates and I gave you a little bit from Final Fantasy VII. But, like, almost entirely...
Oh, Batman.
Oh, and Batman. But like almost entirely was just Tron Legacy, Tron Legacy, Tron Legacy, Tron Legacy. And I wrote like what, 2,000, 3,000 words? Like I wrote an essay, essentially. It gave me so much. I was like, when I sent it to you, I was like, I think I might have given him too much. So like, was that useful? Like in the future, like for future filmmakers that are hiring people, like what kind of stuff should be given to you? Like, was that too much? Was it too little?
I think, especially for where I am in life, because I'm working on a bunch of other films, that was really useful because I was able to go like directly to reference material for each scene. I think in general, maybe just a bundle of different inspirations. Here's what I want. Figure something out. Like it was really good, especially for the fact that I kind of, I was crushed between classes and work, and working on 8 films at my university.
And you also got like sick like 2 times as well.
Yeah, I got COVID, and then I got something else. I don't remember what.
I got something really weird at the end of October as well. That like lasted for essentially 2 weeks. It had antibiotics. It almost went completely away. After the antibiotics were over, it came back a little bit. And
I dislocated my jaw 2 weeks ago as well, so that like took me out for a couple days.
Oh god, that sounds really painful. Like, how do you eat?
Funny story. If anyone wants to know how that happened, I was drinking a glass of orange juice.
Competitively, how did it go that way?
I don't know. Neither does the doctor. There's 1:30 in the morning. I'm drinking juice. My jaw dislocated and relocated. Agonizingly painful. I got an Uber to the nearest emergency. I was just like, I'm in pain.
No, I do gotta ask.
That has to be because of a precondition. Like that can't have just been like spur of the moment thing.
It happened again like the next week. It was not fun.
How much did it cost?
It cost the Uber, so it was like £5. Would have been free. Well, okay, I was in the waiting room for 4.5 hours though. That is the biggest issue with the NHS.
That's what I've heard.
When you go into emergency, I was in emergency last year for 11.5 hours. For them to basically go, yeah, there's nothing wrong with you.
Bring something to work on.
I was sent from one place to another place because they thought I had a more complex condition than I did. When I got to the second place, I'm way there for about 6.5 hours. I went and I see the doctor, looks at me and he goes, considering you're standing up, you're not vomiting, and you're not like screaming and crying in pain, you don't need to be here. And then they gave me some antibiotics and let me go on my way.
I will say that definitely sounds painful, but as someone who has a bunch of medical stuff that runs in one side of my family's history, I need to make serious bank or I'm going to be in debt for all of my life.
Yeah. I think.
No, this seems handy. But back to the soundtrack. So obviously, like, did you like going in it like in a linear way? Because like obviously, I know from texting you actually did like watch all the stuff. Like you knew what was happening in each scene. Because I remember I was texting you and James. I was like, "Is the fist fight scene too long?" And you're like, "No, it isn't. Keep it as it is."
Yeah, I like it as it is. But no, so I did go about it linearly because what is his name? Hans Zimmer, who I'm going to see in concert this year. Excited. But Hans Zimmer has this whole theory of like, he calls it a musical diary or journal, one of those things. And basically he just kind of sits down, just goes and just makes music consistently and slowly pieces it together and then goes back through that diary, takes chunks of it and finds where they would fit.
Yeah, like listening to it, I can definitely tell you did that. My favorite piece of music, this may be a weird one. I'm curious what your favorite piece of music is. Obviously, you didn't give them names. I'm the one who started giving them names.
Yeah.
But my favorite piece of music that you did was the reprise of the main theme in scene 14, which is where Brandon and Seth, they find me in the recreation of the basement. That's my favorite piece of music. Is when I was listening to it, I was like, oh, it's the main theme. Oh, that's cool. That was my reaction listening to that.
Yeah, thank you. Like, yeah, that one was fun because basically the main theme in the diary I have of it is just one long thing that kind of rises and swells and dies off. But like, yeah, I think that was a fun part because I did kind of get to listen back through my theme for it and go, ooh, I can put it's like this is, you know, kind of the right place for this. And you know, you just have to trim it and make it feel right for the scene. But yeah.
No, I really like the main theme overall.
Yeah. My favorite part is the Batman music, just because it was so different from what I normally do. Alex has heard me complain so much about the damn the brass orchestra, digital instrument on my laptop. It hates me. I cannot level it at all, so I turned it all the way down. It is at the bottom. The level is negative 20 decibels, and it is still ear-burstingly loud for some reason.
At least brass is like my favorite, so
yeah,
it's okay.
Yeah. And out of the other scores I've done for this, I've never done a brass orchestra before.
Really?
So it's fun to get.
Some of the brass sounds pretty good. I don't know how much you saw in the Discord when I was talking about your score. I definitely said a sus remark relating to how much I like brass. So I don't know if you saw that part or not.
I'll take a read for. I have so many Discord notifications these days.
Yeah.
I could really read them because some of the films I'm working on have Discord group chats, and I forget that, so I don't go read it, and then I go, oh, I've missed important work I'm supposed to do.
Yeah, that's a problem.
Yeah.
Do they ping you?
Yeah. If it's something pressing, I'll get a text from the producer and be like, hey, have you done this? And I'll go, yes, and that's a lie. I'll go and do it.
Yeah, so, the sus comment I said is, oh my good god, this score has so much brass, I think I'm going to, and then you can fill in the blank.
Yeah, I got it.
Josh clearly hadn't seen it yet based on his facial expression.
I can imagine what it is. Yeah.
And so, like, I also
like
played
it.
a fun game using the score as I was exporting them and sharing them on the Discord. Obviously, I was giving them names. I was like, hey, can you guess where it is? And Zach actually got the first two correct. Orderly, and he couldn't even listen to it, just using the name of the tracks. So I was like, damn.
Yeah.
If you have a basic outline of the story, track names really are a spoiler. It's like the Phantom Menace soundtrack that spoiled that Qui-Gon died in that release before the film.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm like making sure I do not do spoilers in the soundtrack, even though I'm not releasing it early. Releasing on YouTube, that is. And it's something that if you're interested, Cole, James actually has a way to release like CDs. So like, if you want to get some extra money, I say release it. Honestly, like on like streaming
extra
online.
Money used.
Oh, changes his mind and is like, actually, I do want full paid for my work. Less than a week before premiere and after I already pivoted to paying the actors.
No, don't worry.
Did you know about that, Josh?
I was never gonna make you.
Well, you're getting paid.
Oh. Okay. Cool.
I was never gonna ask for full pay for this.
And I feel bad because I know you put in a lot of work.
Yeah.
So you'll get your actor pay, $15 for acting, and then I'll also buy you a damn Chipotle. We'll have to like see a movie. We'll like see a movie and get Chipotle or something like that. I don't know.
Well, I would be happy.
Yeah, Chipotle. Yeah, when Cole
Is that
Cole
Chipotle?
just we were texting. Cole's like, Alex, don't pay me, and I was being resistant, and he's like, just give me Chipotle.
So all actors get 15. Is that what you said?
Yeah.
Oh.
And then there's James, who did not turn down being paid for sound design. So James is actually on my expense list. You have all the props listed out, all that, actors, and then the biggest expense, James.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
James is the most expensive thing in this movie. It would have been Cole.
No, I don't like taking money from my friends, especially like, you know, it's a first film. Shouldn't have to spend too much money on it.
Sorry, I'm distracted. I knew about the Millennium Falcon, but the TARDIS.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I have a TARDIS on the other side.
Okay, I wasn't gonna talk about it, especially because by the time, actually, chances are we're not gonna be that behind, because most likely the next season's actually not airing till May, and this will be in April, theoretically. Have you seen the 60th anniversary specials yet?
No, I have not. I'm so annoyed.
Okay.
I don't have a TV license in England, so I actually don't have a way to watch it. But I'm not paying the government for TV.
Okay, Mr. Cole, you have a Blu-ray player.
Probably.
Fine if you do.
Yeah.
What time you'll have to text you when you go back to England after this.
Yeah.
I will lend you my 13th Doctor Blu-rays,
Yeah.
and then we will hang out and watch the 60th anniversary specials and the Christmas special at my house.
Alright, I'll be happy.
We will do that so that you're finally caught up. You'll just have homework of watching the 13th Doctor on your own. I'll give you that at the premiere.
The thing is, I've watched most of the 13th Doctor. I didn't watch 12. That's a whole other story to get into.
I'll give you 12 as well. I don't. That's painful.
No,
can I actually separate with my 12th Doctor Blu-rays?
Sorry, I have 12. I have all of it.
Yeah, you should really give him a rewatch. I did not like him at first. I did not like him on the first rewatch. The first watch. The second watch, I thought he was okay. The third watch, I was like, he's good. Fourth watch, something clicked. Something just clicked, and I was like, oh, this is just the best Doctor Who ever has and ever will be. It took so many rewatches, but then it just clicked, and it was like, oh, this is amazing. And I've tried doing the same thing with the 13th Doctor's era. Like, I rewatch it every year in full, hoping that I will actually like it.
Yeah.
Let's just say 2024 is the year that I give up on that era.
That's fair.
Because it's already solidifying my opinions of, in a vacuum, I think it's good. In comparison to the rest of Doctor Who, no. Not even close.
Yeah.
There's a couple of great episodes sprinkled in. But that's it. That's all there is. Most of it, not a fan of.
Yeah, I get that.
Which pains me to say, but at least the future is very bright. Ncuti Gatwa seemed amazing.
Yeah.
He's left such a great first impression, and I can't wait for you to see that first impression. So we'll get on that. Anyways, that was a conversation I wasn't expecting to have.
Yeah. Back to Alex's point. Yeah, I just want to say my favorite thing with making the score, is how different it was from the last things I did. Because the first score I did was, technically the second one. I did one for a musical at one point, but that was all a cappella, so that's entirely different. Anyone hearing this, don't make an a cappella musical. That was my idea.
Actually, I almost think I remember hearing you working about that in high school.
Yeah, I was working on it in high school. I've wrapped it up now and finished it.
How is it?
I think it's pretty good. It's fun.
I'm not gonna go musical. I would not want to be in it. I'll say that much.
Yeah, no. I think it's a really cool idea if it gets executed properly. Then I did a full orchestra one because classic film school, but one big orchestra. And then the last film I actually did was a bluegrass score, so it was all banjos and a double bass and stuff. And we actually recorded that in a live studio.
That's really
and a couple
cool.
of my friends. Yeah.
I wish we had more time for Alex's point, because if I didn't try to get it out this year, I would have definitely loved to have a live orchestra or something. But obviously, we did not have the time for that.
Didn't have the time, and I don't know enough
people. At that point, I probably would have gone to the music, had you give me all the sheet music, and then I would have spent way too much money.
Yeah.
Most college music departments though, if you pay them, practice is practice.
Yeah, exactly.
It's originally I was gonna go to one of my composing friends from the school I go to, composing and math double major. For the score, he was nah, so much alright. So because I wanted somebody that I knew to do this score since it's my first time. I wanted to make sure somebody I knew I could work with well. So obviously he was my first thought just because that's what he wants to do for a living. And I was Cole's composed before. He's a filmmaker. I imagine he'd willingly do it as well.
Yeah.
And it's obviously it worked out great because it's a great score.
Thank you.
So obviously that's Alice Point stuff, and I think we're hitting around 40 minutes. but they're still like a whole episode. Why am I lagging again?
You good?
No. This is really big lag spike. Oh, I move fluidly.
There it goes.
Oh, there's the background footage is back. But I'm not. Oh. But yeah, we still have like a whole podcast worth of stuff to talk about YouTube. So this guest star episode is actually guest star episodes. So thanks for coming to the studio's Backlot, YouTube. And well, this is the end of the take. Cut! And that's where we're ending it. That's where we're ending it.
Is that how you're gonna end all the podcasts?
I guess, yeah. But technically it's not over yet until I end the background footage of Premiere. So now it's ending right! Now it ended.